making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball.
Caitlin Clark just proved she's a once-in-a-generation superstar. The WNBA is buzzing because she's now the first athlete since Michael Jordan to land her own signature basketball shoe. Let that sink in. Michael Jordan, the most iconic and valuable athlete on the planet, is the only name in that conversation.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael.
And what makes it even more incredible, Caitlin accomplished this in her very first WNBA season. Her influence isn't limited to basketball fans anymore. She's shaping the conversation across the entire sports world.
He's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Her talent feels almost unreal, on a level most players, including Angel Reese, can only dream of reaching. And when you're this exceptional, jealousy comes with the territory. Criticism and hate are part of the deal when you're not just winning games, but changing the culture itself. Everyone is watching Caitlin Clark, supporters and skeptics alike, because she's more than just an athlete. She represents a movement, a complete shift. Credit to her and her family for what she's built. What's wild is that not long ago, we were just watching her face LSU, and even then, her greatness was obvious. Caitlin Clark is simply phenomenal. Caitlin Clark's Jordan deal, explained. If you somehow missed it, Caitlin Clark hasn't just influenced women's basketball, she's reshaped the entire sports business. She's not only making history, she's rewriting it. By signing with Wilson Sporting Goods, Clark became the first athlete since Michael Jordan to launch her own trademark basketball line, placing her in a category all her own.
Congratulations to her and her family. Yeah. The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's from.
Let's be real. This deal represents power, progress, and a clear message that women's sports are done accepting less. This isn't just about slapping her name on a basketball and calling it success. For years, women's basketball has been overlooked, underfunded, and undervalued. Caitlin Clark didn't tiptoe past those barriers. She shattered them like they were never there. Her partnership with Wilson isn't just a win for her. It's a massive breakthrough for every female athlete fighting to be seen and respected. Remember Pete Maravich's legendary NCAA scoring record? Clark didn't just break it. She used it to lift Iowa in the biggest moments. While others were trying to keep pace, she was busy building a legacy. From her college days onward, Clark has been rewriting record books and redefining what dominance looks like. She isn't just a basketball player, she's a game changer. Plain and simple, she is the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. Now, the Jordan comparison might sound bold at first, but think about it. Michael Jordan turned basketball into a global obsession. Caitlin Clark is doing the same for the WNBA and women's sports overall. She has the talent, the charisma, and most importantly, the star power to attract audiences who once ignored women's basketball entirely. To put it in perspective, national broadcasts are now pulling in 1.32 million viewers, numbers that would make even the NBA take notice. And it's not just TV ratings. Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, shattered attendance records this season, drawing over 340,000 fans. This isn't just success, it's a full-blown phenomenon that extends far beyond the arena.
She is the Michael Jordan. I know you're not a major basketball
Him, I know.
but she is the Michael Jordan of female basketball.
So, who's at the heart of all this excitement? You already know the answer, Caitlin Clark. She's not just playing the game. She's driving the conversation, the clicks, and the engagement across the entire league. WNBA reactions have been explosive, shock, praise, and plenty of controversy. In just the first week of the season, the league's digital presence skyrocketed. WNBA's social platforms pulled in 157 million video views, an unbelievable 380% jump from last year. We always knew Clark was marketable, but she's now outperforming some of the biggest global superstars, including international icons like Messi and Ronaldo. Financially, she's a one-woman powerhouse. Jersey sales at the WNBA store shattered records, and the league's sponsor media value hit $136 million this year, nearly half of that tied directly to Clark and the Indiana Fever. She's turning brand partnerships into a masterclass, proving that investing in women's sports isn't charity, it's smart business. Fever merchandise alone surged by 193%. Let that sink in, over 1,000% growth driven by a single rookie. On global athlete marketability rankings, Caitlin Clark now sits ahead of Messi, Ronaldo, and even Steph Curry. Yes, Steph Curry is behind her on that list.
Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. Two of them being Messi and...
But wait, there's even more. Clark's impact doesn't stop on the court. Off the floor, she's already reshaping the local economy. In Indianapolis alone, her presence is estimated to generate $36 million, driven by ticket sales, merchandise, and the ripple effect on surrounding businesses. She's just getting started, yet she's already delivering a massive economic boost to the city. For young athletes everywhere, Caitlin Clark has become the blueprint. Every kid dreaming of going pro is looking at her and thinking, that could be me. And that's what separates her rise from simple box scores and broken records. This is bigger than basketball. It's a cultural shift. Clark represents what women's basketball looks like in this new era. Bold, electric, and built to thrive. Her influence shows up not just in the numbers, but in how the game itself is perceived. The message is clear. She's not just a player. She's a living, breathing revolution. And in 2024, Time magazine made it official, naming Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year. Not women's athlete, not basketball player, athlete. A title reserved for those who redefine what's possible and change the entire endorsement game.
Clark on a worldwide marketability list for athletes to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. I mean, she's ahead of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is behind her.
And that's exactly what Clark is doing. This recognition isn't just symbolic, it's a global spotlight on her and, by extension, on women's basketball as a whole. It's fair to say this moment should have come sooner. For too long, many people were hesitant to fully acknowledge the impact of this young superstar. But there's no denying it now. She can flat out play. Clark's influence goes far beyond what happens on the court. Off it, she commands just as much attention. When she attended the Time dinner in New York City, it wasn't a routine appearance, it was a statement. She's no longer just a basketball star. She's a cultural figure, moving comfortably among the world's most powerful and influential people. She's proving that elite athletes deserve a voice everywhere, from boardrooms to red carpets. Every move she makes outside the game pushes women's sports forward. And at this point, comparisons to Tiger Woods aren't exaggerated, they're accurate. Just as Tiger transformed golf into must-watch television and reshaped its entire economy, Caitlin Clark is changing how people view women's basketball. She's showing the world that it's not only worth watching, but worth investing in, marketing, and fully embracing.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball.
And Clark already carries that presence naturally. She's become a true ambassador for the game, someone who shows up with confidence and looks out for everyone around her. That said, her rapid rise in the WNBA hasn't been without resistance. Some longtime veterans haven't exactly welcomed the spotlight she's commanding, and honestly, that reaction isn't surprising. With massive influence comes controversy. But Clark isn't creating division. What she's doing is exposing issues the league has wrestled with for years: pay gaps, lack of recognition, and the ongoing fight for respect. Because of her impact, the league is finally being forced to respond. The WNBA has begun negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement aimed at higher player salaries and has committed $50 million toward charter flights. These moves aren't happening by accident. They're happening because the momentum Clark created is impossible to ignore. Let's be clear, though. This isn't generosity, it's necessity. The league is reacting to a once-in-a-generation talent and the pressure she's brought with her. It's survival, not charity. Women's basketball has fought too long for legitimacy to be dragged down by unnecessary drama. The focus has to return to the game itself. When talent speaks loudly enough, it doesn't need theatrics. And Clark's presence is forcing the league and its players to decide whether they want to rise with the moment or get left behind. All of this noise has sparked a much bigger conversation growth. With record viewership and packed arenas, the WNBA is no longer debating expansion as a nice idea. It's becoming a necessity. This league has been overdue for real growth, and Clark's ability to sell out buildings and pull massive audiences has forced that reality front and center. Let this sink in for a moment. Caitlin Clark proved there is a real market with her $28 million Nike deal. That isn't just a contract, it's a mic drop. It sends a clear message. Female athletes carry equal value, and in some cases, even more. Clark isn't just earning money, she's setting the bar. Companies are finally realizing that investing in women's sports isn't a risk, it's smart business. And Clark is the ultimate return on that investment. Are some players jealous? Sure, that probably exists. It's human nature. Anyone would feel a certain way watching someone land a massive shoe deal before even stepping fully into the pros. But jealousy doesn't change the reality. This moment was earned. The real question now is whether the league can keep up. Clark brought the spotlight on her own, but sustaining this momentum is the WNBA's responsibility. The league can't afford to hesitate. It must grow, innovate, and capitalize on the energy she's created. The opportunity is there, but only if they're bold enough to take it. Caitlin Clark's professional journey is just beginning, yet her impact is already undeniable. She's not only breaking records, she's breaking barriers. One thing is clear, she's not here to play by old rules. She's here to rewrite them, redefining what's possible and setting a new standard for women's basketball.